Population and Resources Unit, Lesson 4.1, the South Pacific Island Ecosystem. Activity 2, Introducing the Science Seminar. Tasmania. The ecosystem that we will be considering is based on a real ecosystem on the island of Tasmania, an island off the southern coast of Australia. Tasmania and other islands like it are special ecosystems because they have many organisms that live only there and nowhere else on Earth. When there are changes to these ecosystems, many times caused by humans, it often results in these populations being harmed or even going extinct. This is an example of how small changes in one part of a system might cause large changes in another. The orange-bellied parrot population decrease. There's only one wild population of orange-bellied parrots on Earth. This population breeds in Tasmania and migrates to mainland Australia in the winter. This population has been decreasing, and now there are less than 100 birds left in the wild. Tasmania ecosystem populations. Some of the populations on Tasmania were brought there by humans. Red foxes and feral cats, for example, did not live on Tasmania until humans brought them to the island. When new populations are introduced to an ecosystem, it can change the ecosystem dramatically and harm other populations. How does this example show how small changes in one part of an ecosystem might cause larger changes in another part? How could bringing just a few individuals of an organism to a new ecosystem cause big changes to that ecosystem? It would be too difficult to use all the actual data from Tasmania, so we will consider how the size of the orange-bellied parrot population decreased on a fictional island. The island is based on Tasmania, so some of the data represents what is really happening on Tasmania, but some of the data does not. In this lesson, you will evaluate evidence using the evidence criterion. Then, in the next lesson, you will determine how the evidence connects to these claims. In the final lesson of this chapter, you will participate in a science seminar in which you will share your ideas about the evidence and argue about what was the main cause of the parrot population decrease. After the science seminar, you will write arguments supporting one of these claims for homework. The goal of the next 3 lessons is to make a claim that you can support with evidence. Considering evidence and claims and discussing our thinking with peers is all part of the scientific argumentation process, one of the most important scientific practices. Creating the island food web. The first thing you will do is learn more about the populations that live on the island. You read a card about each population and use this information to create a food web. Notice the information on the cards about resource and consumer populations. You will get a sheet with all the population names but no arrows. Using the population cards, you will figure out how to draw the arrows. For example, this card says that the button grass is a resource population of the orange-bellied parrots, so I would draw an arrow from the button grass pointing toward the orange-bellied parrot. I could have also figured this out by looking at the button grass card where it says the orange-bellied parrot is a consumer population. Students, create the island food web using the population cards. You can find the population cards in the Drive folder for the lesson posted to Classroom. There is also a Google Slide version of the food web posted to Classroom. End of activity.